Well, hey there. This is John Anthony Francis Wilcox, and today is Saturday, the 12th of April, 2025. Can you believe it? It's already 12 days into April, and it's the day before Palm Sunday, which is a week before Easter. And for those of you who don't believe or celebrate any of that, tomorrow's Sunday, and a week from that is another Sunday. There you go. So I hope you're all doing well. Um, Trying to think of what I should tell you about this week. Well, let's. I'm gonna kind of ping pong ball around. One of my biggest things this week has been that I've been watching a lot of a station called Arirang, Arirang, which is in English but from Korea. And it's another thing on my Fire Stick because I was thinking, I wonder if I can get Korean TV on this, South Korean, of course. And I found this channel, and it's just delightful. It has things. It's set up kind of similar to the NHK Japanese channel, and yet it's different at the same time. It has much more music on it and dance, and it has ASMR stuff. You'll just see like someone working on something, or you'll go to an area and you just hear water drip and the nature and being natural for like 20 minutes, a half hour. It's very interesting. And this week I came across, they have a thing called Danstargram, Danstargram, like Telegram, but Danstargram. And it was of a girl group over there, 7 girls. I think they're all like 20, called CSR, which I forget the words that the CS and R are basically translate to first love. And it was very fun. You saw them going in this area in Korea and seeing the sights, going to a bird museum and having food. And then they put together a dance routine with some of their songs and a song that wasn't one of theirs in front of a crowd. They had like a little area, and they said, we're gonna, come see us. We're gonna be at this thing. I think they said at 5:30, and they had a nice crowd, and it was a lot of fun. They had a great energy. The songs were fun. I know one was called Pop Pop, and it was like double pop. Very fun, kind of, if you know Asian pop, very much in like a AKB 48 or something like that, for those of you who do or don't know. And today, a wonderful kind of pop alterna band called YDBB, and I forget what that stands for, but they had a massively good drummer. The woman who was the vocalist, she was great. Great guitars, keyboards. Kid was playing one of those ever-present red Nord brand keyboards, and they were great. I just was like, wow, the energy here. I would love to see a band like that. It shows you, once again, it's an opening of doors to a world we don't think about for the most part in our everyday life. You don't think, oh, gee, I think I'll watch some Korean pop that I've never heard of on TV. But there it is. And it's been there for however many years, and I never saw it until this week. And now it's tough to, I mean, I watch other stuff, but, you know, it's now part of my routine along with the Turkish TV and the Japanese TV. Who knows where we'll go from there? So that's been a big thing. Um, and for those of you that get my other stuff, yesterday I did my 6 songs, and it's funny, the video is for 6 songs from 1970. However, I don't know how I did it, but when I did, like I always do a graphic for the front, I put 1974 instead of 1970, but it's 1970. I corrected it on the listing on YouTube, but the image still incorrectly says 1974. We all make mistakes. Sorry, getting old. Well, I don't know that it's from getting old. It's just I made a mistake. I think I was kind of distracted as I was putting together the graphics. I was thinking about other stuff. And so I did that, did my film. Last week I said I was going to do Avanti this week, and I did do Avanti, and I got some great replies, including one today, and that was nice. On Thursday, I did my umpteenth interview with Michael W. Smith to promote a gig he's got coming up on the 24th in Passaic, New Jersey. And I try and flow free with people that I've talked to many times because we have a good rapport connection, which Smitty and I do. And so before I had gotten the call from him, I was thinking about my dad, who died back in 2014, and how my dad could not sing to save his life. And yet he would sing. He would sing Mountain Dew or whatever, and not very well at all. And it delighted him to do it, and it delighted me to hear it. And it always made me smile and it made me laugh. And I told that story to Smitty, and he loved hearing that story. So I said, "All right, so tell me, what made you laugh about your dad?" And he told me a sweet story, and he's like, "Oh, where do I start?" And you could hear in his voice the joy of talking about his dad. So he told me his story, and I said, "Let's agree, dads are great," and they are. Then we talked about music. We got into compositional construction, which I really like getting into. I don't know how much of that'll make it into the article because it's a promo article, but I'll find maybe another one of those where even though it's a brief interview, it's like 19 minutes, something like that, because he had a lot of interviews to do because he has a new song, very good song by the way, called "Arms Around the Sun," and we talked about that. We talked about several other songs that he's completed for an album that he said it might come out next year, it might come out this year. He doesn't know yet. But that was nice to get into. And then I threw a question at him. I said, the first time you and I ever talked was 1988. I said, so what would 2025 Smitty tell 1988 Smitty? And he kind of, laughed and said, "It's not all about you." And I thought, wow, that's an interesting thing. But you know what? If I went back to 1988 myself, so I was 28, I was nowhere as sensible and mature as I am now. Hold your arguments there. I understand you're like, says the guy wearing the snow cap at the middle of April. Yes, I know. That's me. I'm busy being me. So, what else? Great talks with Joyce, with Catherine, with Marcy, with Ari, uh, Pete, and I'm sure I'm forgetting people, and I apologize if I talk to you and I have neglected to mention it here. But also today, it's Snappy Show and Tell time. I've had this book on my Amazon wish list for a long time, but I never had the money to get it until someone had it up for $7 or $8. I'm like, oh, gotta get it. Absolute quality goods. What this is it's a book of just the old pinups that used to be in the back of Marvel Comics now and then. Different like annuals and things like that. You got your Jack Kirby Steve Ditko, Don Heck, Gene Colan. Even a rarity from Barry Windsor Smith. John Byrne has a few in here. The legend that is Bill Everett is in here. Joe Sinnott, Frank Giacoia, Gene Colan, Chick Stone, um, even Sal Brodsky, and the list goes on. I mean, not much more than that, but it's just pure delight. And some, like for example, this one of Thor, show you the pencil, the pencil and ink version, as well as the color version. But anyway, all put together by the ever wonderful Craig Yo. Hi, Craig. Hope you see this sometime. Thank you for doing such a great job on this. But this book is gold. This is like a piece of gold. If you like comics, or if you know someone that likes comics, particularly Marvel stuff, and you want to get them a gift that they will thank you for forever, this is it right here. This is the goods you want. So thought I would share that. Tonight I'm going to make some chili cheese dogs. Um, on Monday I made some really good. I had some kielbasi and some spicy bratwursts that I cut up with several different kinds of apples and onions, potatoes, peas, and different herbs and stuff. And I let that roast for 2 hours, and it came out delightful. I still got a little bit left that I'll probably have the last of tomorrow because I'm pretty full today. And I'm going to say, is there something else where I go, I really ought to remember that? Um, no, I think that I'm sure there's other stuff, but I think that's it for today. Let's call a wrap on it. I love you. Bye bye.